Alright, so moving on to the next segment. I'll be sharing my fight prediction for this weekend's fight between Yordenis Ugas and Mario Barrios. So this fight taking place in the sport of boxing is actually a great addition to the Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo undercard, where we will be seeing these two great fighters fight each other at the welterweight division. This fight will actually have some significance behind it because both Ugas and Mario Barrios will be fighting to be crowned the new WBC interim welterweight champion. Now, some of you guys might say, how's this significant fighting for a interim WBC world title? Well, I'll tell you why. This fight has importance for the later days in the welterweight division, for the future and the welterweight division in the sport of boxing, because there is a chance that new undisputed champion in the welterweight division, Terrence Bud Crawford, could vacate all four of his welterweight titles and decide to move up to a new division. I do believe that Terrence Crawford is waiting for the winner of whoever's successful between Canelo Alvarez and Jermell Charlo this weekend in the sport of boxing. I do believe he's going to target the winner of that fight, which would lead to Terrence Crawford vacating all four of the titles at the welterweight division. With that being said, if you are an interim champion in the sport of boxing and the current champion vacates his titles, if you're holding this interim title, you are elevated to become the new permanent WBC champion. And that is the significance of this fight, due to the fact that they could be, Ugas and Mario Barrios could be fighting for a vacant title, but then elevated in the next few weeks, next few months, as the new WBC world champion in the welterweight division. So I do believe this is huge. My storylines for these two respective fighters heading into this fight. The toughness of Ugas has never been questioned to me as I've watched his boxing career thus far. He deserves all the credit in the world for always trying to improve himself, always fighting the best of the best in the sport of boxing, and the best of the best in the welterweight division. He's fought some great competition over the years. He's fought Shawn Porter. He's fought Manny Pacquiao. He's fought Earl Spence Jr. Ugas is very tough, and he deserves a lot of credit for fighting those three fighters that I said that have left a significant amount, a good amount of significance to the welterweight division over the last few years in the sport of boxing. Then you look at Mario Barrios. He's also a tough warrior as well. Gave Gervonta Tank Davis his toughest task back in 2021. I do believe that that is up there in the conversation for best fights in the sport of boxing for the calendar year 2021. That was an absolute classic between Mario Barrios and Gervonta Davis. Unfortunately, he came up short against Gervonta Davis late in that fight. But boy, did he give Gervonta Davis a lot of problems in that fight. And he was up against Gervonta Davis on the judges' scorecard. So he has nothing to be ashamed of losing to Gervonta Davis in that fight. But then, after fighting Gervonta Tank Davis, he moved up to the welterweight division and fought Keith Thurman in 2022. Now, he lost that fight, but still took Keith Thurman to the limit. So you're saying that in losing effort, you take Gervonta Tank Davis to the limit, and losing effort, you take Keith Thurman to the limit. I think there's no shame in that. And I think that is shaping Mario Barrios to be a better boxer today in the sport. So he's looking to get his second win in the welterweight division this weekend against Ugas. This is my tale of the tape for this weekend's fight. Yordenis Ugas is currently 27. He has 27 wins, 5 losses to his resume. He has 12 wins come away of knockout. He's a former bronze medalist in the 2008 Olympics in the sport of boxing. He's a former WBA world champion. He actually took that WBA world title, beating Manny Pacquiao in Manny Pacquiao's final boxing fight in his illustrious career. So Ugas deserves a lot of credit for that. And he currently stands at 5'9" and has a reach advantage of 69 inches. Then you look at Mario Barrios. Mario Barrios is currently has 27 wins, has 2 losses to his resume, has 18 wins come away a knockout, and is currently 5'10" and has a 71-inch reach advantage. So the height and the reach advantage goes to Mario Barrios at being taller and having the reach advantage over Yordenis Ugas. But with that being said, I am going with Ugas to win this fight by unanimous decision. This will be a close fight for 12 rounds. I do expect a tough fight between both of these respective fighters. I do believe that this fight is going to bring the best of the best out of Ugas and Mario Barrios this weekend. Mario Barrios will have to make this a similar dogfight a fight that he was in a few years ago against Gervonta Davis if he wants to be successful and become the new WBC interim welterweight champion. But I do believe that Ugas is just going to be the more dominant fighter. I do believe that Ugas is going to frustrate Mario Barrios as the fight goes on. He's been around for a long time fighting the top names, and he has the experience. Experience advantage goes to Yordenis Ugas. I do believe that he's very hungry at this particular moment in his career. He wants to stay at the top of the mountain late in his career. He's already in his late 30s. I think he wants to prove that he's still a top dog, especially in this welterweight division, that we could potentially see Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford out of this division. So this could potentially set up this fight right here between Ugas and Mario Barrios on the undercard of Canelo Alvarez versus Jermell Charlo. Could set up to what the future could hold in the welterweight division in the sport of boxing. But I see Ugas getting by Mario Barrios Saturday night to become the new WBC interim welterweight champion and could potentially be elevated to become the new WBC champion in the welterweight division. So that's my fight prediction for this weekend's fight between Yordenis Ugas and Mario Barrios.